All right, everybody, welcome to the Whiskey Weigh-In Podcast. This is Brenton Arrington.
And I'm Shay Huffman.
And we're going to get into UFC 239 predictions. Ooh. Let me pull these guys up. The first fight we have going on is Diego Sanchez and Michael Chiesa.
Woo, that's a banger first fight of the night, too.
Who do you have here?
Man.
The old veteran or this monster? 15-4, Michael Chiesa.
Man, I don't know. I don't feel confident on either one because I can see this fight going either way. I can see it ending anyway, and I can see it going decision. I don't know what to do. I guess you got your boy Diego in this one, though, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I think the crafty veteran's going to come through here. He's just so experienced. In his last fight, he really came through and just dominated him. Who was that? Mickey.
Was it Mickey Gall?
Mickey Gall, yeah.
It was Mickey Gall, yeah.
Yeah, Diego just tore that guy up.
Man, it's tough because
I think this is going to be a little bit tougher of a fight for Diego, but I'm not really seeing him losing this one.
All right. Well, for the sake of the podcast, here's what we're going to do for you guys. Whoever wins the most out of these predictions, the loser is going to have to do just a shot of whiskey as soon as it comes on, no chaser. So for the sake of y'all, I'll go against Diego.
Go against. All right. Let's write that down. We'll throw up a table later on, and we'll see how many shots Shay has to take. All right, who we got next? Did you have anything else with the Diego fight?
No, other than it's going to be an awesome one. It's just amazing to me that is the first fight of the pay-per-view. That's awesome. This is such a great card.
Great. All right, so that's our first fight, starting it off with the welterweights on the main card. Our next fight, Luke Rockhold against?
Nope, you go ahead and do this one.
Jan Blachowicz.
That's right. Man, listen.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it sounds.
That's a tough name because we listened to a couple different announcers from UFC, like doing interviews with him, and they pronounce his name differently. So it's tough. So I'll be anxious to see how it's pronounced here at UFC 239.
Pretty cool name, though. I mean, the guy's
great name.
23-8, is it?
Yeah, 23-8.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold 16-4. Everybody knows Luke Rockhold is quite a beast.
This is Luke's debut at light heavyweight.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I did not know that.
Debut at light heavyweight.
So he's moving up.
Yeah. This is really gonna test Luke. So Luke, man, he gets injured a lot too. He's just one of those guys, he can never stay healthy. And Luke is also a very cocky guy. That's how he lost his belt.
That could hurt him, yeah.
He lost his belt like that. That's when Bisping beat him. And he was too cocky going into it. But, man, coming up to light heavyweight, I think, he's probably been training with DC a lot. Same camp as DC. I think DC will have him ready for a light heavyweight fight. Give me Luke.
Taking Luke on that one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know too much about each fighter, but with Luke moving up, with him having an ego problem, and this Jan guy having 23 wins with only 8 losses, I think that he has a lot of wins under his belt. He's used to fighting at this weight class, and I see Jan coming away with the win, but we'll see what happens. We'll see who's taking the shots.
Let me throw one more thing in there. Just I kind of want to do this just because some of the people might like it. For that last fight, for the Diego and Michael Chiesa, Diego right now, as of, what is today, July 2nd, is a plus 270 underdog, and then Michael is a minus 330 favorite, and then we go to the Luke fight. Luke is minus 175 favorite, and your boy there, plus 155 dog.
Good points. Good points there. Yeah, we should always pay attention to those odds. They, a lot of times, are accurate.
Now, can we move on to my favorite fight of the night, baby?
Yeah, I think this is going to be everybody's favorite fight. Much anticipated. Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren.
Ben!
We will see how this goes. I don't even really know what I want to happen.
Man.
I love both guys, and I hate both guys at the same time. I want to see Ben choke Jorge out, and at the same time, I want to see Jorge knock that cocky ass Ben Askren out. So
wow.
I don't really know what to expect with this one. I do think there is going to come a day when Ben Askren gets his teeth knocked out, and we'll just see how his social media looks after that. If Jorge does it, I'll be happy with that. But to be honest, I want to see Ben beat Jorge Masvidal. I don't know if it'll happen. If he can take Robbie Lawler and take licks from him, I think that he can take Jorge, and especially if it goes to the ground. I mean...
Oh, if it goes to the ground, it's over. Well, it might not be over. I won't say over, but that round is pretty much done and over with.
Yeah.
In Ben's favor. He might not win the fight, but he will win the round if it goes down to the ground. Unless he just makes a dumb mistake like he did against Robbie. Man, it's such a good fight because I think Jorge is one of those people that is just so powerful, and it's a sneaky power. Like, you don't, like Robbie, everyone knows he's just powerful. He's ruthless. I mean, that's ruthless Robbie Lawler. You get Jorge in there, man, it's sneaky power. I think he's one of those people that he hits you, and then all of a sudden you're looking up seeing lights. I think his power is a little bit different than Robbie's. It's sneaky.
Jorge also has so much experience. I mean, both men are very experienced fighters, but Jorge experienced inside and outside the octagon. He knows
for MMA
and feels and tastes really what fighting is on another level. So you kind of have to be aware of that. Those guys have somewhat of an edge where fighting is so deeply ingrained in their history. But don't
sleep on Ben's experience because that's a wrestler for like all his life. It's a little different, apples to oranges.
A wrestler, a regulated, sport.
But he's been doing it just as long, though, if not longer.
Yeah,
not MMA, but he's been in the combat world.
The one thing I will say about that is wrestling is a lot more predictable than street fighting. I think that if there's going to be any surprises, it's going to be Jorge who brings them to the table.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
If there are any surprises coming from Ben, Jorge will probably be the better one to improvise and anticipate.
I don't think there's any surprises about Ben. We know what he's going to do. We know what he wants to do. He's not. Why change it up if no one has stopped it? You're 19-0 for a reason.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see how well Jorge trains for this fight.
So now you're not dancing around it. You didn't pick one. So who are you picking as the winner? I'm going Ben. I have to. That's my boy.
I'm going to go Masvidal, not just because you're going Ben, but I do think that Ben is going in with the big-ass head that he has.
Yeah.
And I think he might be under-preparing. I mean, he's already fighting other fights during his preparation for this fight.
Yeah, and he lost, by the way.
I don't know that Ben is, well, no surprise that he lost to one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet. But I tell you what, it's no surprise that... that Ben has a big ego. Yeah. Maybe that's just for show. Maybe it is just a gimmick. Hopefully that doesn't filter into his preparation. Right. I think that Ben really needs to respect Jorge Masvidal as a fighter. And if it's not until he gets in the octagon with him, then it's going to be too late.
Let's get a prediction out of both of us. Whoever wins this, do they get the next title shot?
That's a good question.
I think they have to, right? Because
especially if Ben wins, because then he'd have to fight Usman.
It has to be for the championship. Whoever wins this has to go on.
Jorge's had some losses.
He won against Till. You beat Ben.
So is he redeemed?
The only other fight that he could do, Woodley's out for an injury, so you can't do that. If Jorge wins, Colby fights against Lawler. Lawler's coming off the L to Ben. Right. L, but I'm still 100% for it. Herb Dean, great job. I thought he was out personally.
Yeah, I'd like to see it run back, but
no, stop it.
Who knows if we'll ever see that?
No, I don't want it to be ran back.
Because you're scared.
No, I'm not scared. I think the winner of this has to get the title shot, especially if Lawler beats Covington. I don't think Lawler should get the shot.
When do Lawler and Covington fight?
I believe it's August.
Is it 241?
Wait, I might have lied. Let's just look it up so that we know. How about that?
Yeah, speaking of that fight, I am very excited to see it. I have not watched a whole lot of Covington fight. All I've heard is about his terrible reputation. And I hate him. It'll be interesting to see a veteran like Robbie Lawler get in the octagon with him. And we'll see what happens.
It's on August 3rd. It's It's the Fight Night 156. It's the main event right now, so that's a free fight.
Great. Yeah, that would be awesome.
On ESPN. It's actually on ESPN is what it's saying, not even ESPN Plus. So it's good. That's going to be great.
I would imagine we're both rooting for Lawler on that one.
Oh, I hate Covington. And that's a strong word. Okay, I don't hate him. I really dislike Covington.
Yeah, and this is coming from a guy who likes Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I don't like Covington. All right. So let's move on to the next one. This next one is a great one that I'm excited for.
Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm.
Man, so this is a tough one. It is, but it isn't. So Amanda is clear cut to me in this. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's do the betting odds on that.
I would be interested in that.
So Ben Askren right now, minus 245 favorite. Jorge at plus,
that's interesting.
Plus 205 right now, underdog. All right, so let's go to the Amanda one. Amanda's minus 340. Wow. And Holly favorite. Is plus 280.
I think it's dangerous to underestimate Holly, though.
That's what I'm
not
saying.
The only one thinking that.
You
but
have to give her the respect.
All I can think about is her fight with Ronda and what she did there.
Yeah, and she beat Rousey when Rousey was like at the peak. Like
when
nobody
Rousey was Rousey.
Right. Nobody thought she could be beat. Amanda beat her right after Holly beat her, but it was a year after. It was a year layoff. Amanda absolutely. Oh man, it was bad. I mean, Ronda, it just looked like she didn't even belong in the octagon. Like it was bad.
Isn't that the fight that drove Ronda to
that was her last
WWE?
Fight. That was their last fight. Amanda's amazing. If Amanda wins this one, hands down the greatest
female fighter
of all time. You can't take away what Ronda did for the sport. If it wasn't for Ronda, these two probably aren't even in their position today. Females might not even be fighting in the UFC if it wasn't for Ronda Rousey.
Right.
Actually, I won't say they wouldn't be if it wasn't for Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So you don't want to take that away from her. But it's just as far as skill-wise, if Amanda wins this one, and good God, if she wins by another knockout, hands down the greatest. And I know people will definitely go back and forth with me on this one because it's probably not a popular opinion, but man, if she wins this by knockout again, pound for pound might be, she got to be top 3. She's got to be top 3, including the males. She's got to be, if not one.
Including the males.
One.
I think that's when you go a little far, but I will say that, Ronda Rousey, she was the trailblazer.
Mm-hmm.
At one time she was the greatest because she was the one who kind of laid out the path for what that even meant.
That's been the
female division.
Second biggest name in UFC, right behind none other than the notorious one, Conor McGregor himself.
Right. So Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm both only 4 losses in their MMA careers. So we'll see what happens. That's the co-main event.
I got Amanda all day.
We both have Amanda.
Okay, we're both on Amanda.
Hard to go against Amanda, but I tell you what, I would love to see Holly Holm win that one.
I don't.
Why? You don't like competition?
I like Holly.
I
like Holly, but man,
you sound
Amanda's
like a LeBron fan. You like LeBron?
I hate LeBron. Okay, I don't hate. Just dislike. But no, I'm not a LeBron fan at all.
That's the LeBron argument. I want the greats to be great. I want the best to be the best. I'd like to see the best get beat.
I'm usually like that. But just Amanda is just, there's something about her. After watching that Cyborg fight, I'm a fan. I'm a fan after that Cyborg fight.
Well, she certainly earned her reputation, and I guess we'll see what happens with that one. But all right, now we have the main event. I know that you have Thiago Santos picked here against what's this guy's name? John Jones. 1 loss.
Not even a loss.
What are the odds here? Let's just see what the odds are.
So I'm actually surprised.
Should this even be a main event? I mean, seriously.
So it's actually funny. I was debating with one of my friends, and I'd like to get other people's opinion. Because it's hard to disagree, but man, he said that John Jones is UFC's biggest draw right now. And I was like, is he? And they're like, yeah, just look at, all the stuff he does. And I'm just like, but is he, though? Is he the biggest draw the UFC has right now?
I honestly would disagree with that. I think that John Jones is a big draw. I think he is one of the greatest of all time. I think that the division that he is in right now is a disservice to himself and to the population of fans because there's no competition
at all.
There's really no competition.
It's
and it is boring to see a juggernaut just steamroll past people.
It's a level to how great he is that everyone's kind of down here, but there's no one even close to him. There's not. DC at least was like, you know what? DC has the skill for him. DC couldn't beat him, but he had the skill for John. There's no one else in this division that even like skill-wise matches up with John.
Yeah,
and it's
just this fight is even making me yawn thinking about it. I mean, I'm more excited to watch Jorge and Ben than I am to watch John Jones and Thiago Santos. Maybe we get surprised. Maybe we're wrong.
It could happen. Santos has that power to do that. So let me tell you the keys for Santos, and I hope he's listening to this.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't be. Santos, me and my buddy was just talking about this fight.
Name your buddy. Let's give him some credit.
Cam, I know you're going to be out there watching. He said he wants to be on the podcast, and we made a deal that if John Jones loses, he'll be sitting right here on Monday.
All right, that sounds great.
So here's what Santos has to do. He has to go in. You can't play conservative. You can't play defense. You have to push the pace. You have to be sporadic. You have to be throwing the punches. Push the pace. Don't lay back, because if you lay back, that's how John picks people apart. His length is going to kill him already. If you let him pick you apart like that, it's going to be a long and dominating fight like that Anthony Smith fight was.
Yeah, well, that's the fight that I was going to bring up, because Anthony Smith did try to push forward on John. He did try to be aggressive. He did try to go after him, and John's defense was just too good.
Yeah, but then he kind of would just back.
Him.
He would just go back, though. And you know what? If you get knocked out, you get knocked out. You're going to have to go out swinging against John Jones, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to win a technical fight with John Jones ever.
Just too smart, too physically gifted.
He uses his length better than anyone I've ever seen in the UFC, and I do not like John Jones, and it hurts me to say that, but he just uses his length to his advantage more than anybody.
Man, I thought you loved John Jones. You know what? I love an underdog, though. I would love to see. I think everybody would be happy to see Thiago Santos beat John Jones, just to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm telling you, I can't believe these betting odds at only minus 600. I think when he fought
Anthony Smith, he was like minus 900.
It was like
he?
minus 900 or 1,000. Yeah. I mean, it was something ridiculous. I don't remember the exact number, but I know it was at least 900.
Is Thiago that much better than Anthony?
I don't think so, but I think that they're looking at Santos as, well, he could get a knockout. He could get a knockout. He has the power to do it.
Anybody could get a knockout.
I think Santos' power is a little bit different. I don't think John's really faced someone. I'm trying to think if he's faced anyone really with Santos' power, at least as of lately, and I don't think he has. And man, I was listening to John. I think he was doing a interview with TMZ Sports. Man, this guy's a total wuss. And let me tell you why.
You're judging him based off a TMZ interview.
This was an actual sit-down interview, not him out on the street. You know what I mean? This is a legit interview. What a wuss. They're asking him, about him going up to heavyweight. He was really not having it. He was not, and he's like, you know what he said? He said, well, if the money's right, I'll consider it. And then they said, you and Francis would be a great fight. And
didn't he used to be all about going up to heavyweight?
I think he's scared. Can you blame him? Well, they brought in Francis' name, right? And then he's like, "Oh, don't do that. I like Francis." And basically, like, I don't want to fight Francis. I'm like, stop.
Of course, he doesn't want to fight Francis.
Right? Just
Francis
stop it.
He's not used to being across the octagon from somebody else
that's bigger,
who is also quite a physical specimen, and so John may still have the reach advantage, which is insane.
He might. Which is crazy. I don't know.
I think it's an 84-inch reach advantage. I'm not sure if you want to look it up.
Well, let's look it up.
Your keyboard is quieter than mine. But that would be quite a fight. I would love to see that. I mean, of course, the money would be right.
For that
with
one?
the draw that Francis is and with the draw that John Jones is.
I couldn't imagine.
If John was talking about fighting Brock Lesnar.
Francis, 83-inch reach.
I think John is 84.
I think that he might be 83 as well.
Okay.
If he's 84, I mean, that's not any different. Let's look that one up. Wow. No, you're right. 84.5. Wow.
84.5 inches. So still the reach advantage. Still would be able to have a little bit. A striking advantage.
And if there's anyone that can use that to their advantage, it would be John Jones.
Yeah. Well, like you say all the time, John Jones is the greatest of all time.
It's
inside
hard to say.
And outside the octagon, right?
Jeez Louise, definitely not outside. Inside, man. It's hard to go against that of the GOAT discussion. It really is hard to go against John Jones. Me personally, I know I'm going to get a bunch of flack from this, especially from the YouTube trolls. I'll debate with you all day in the comments, but give me DC. I know he lost once to John, but DC's accomplished more.
As far as greatest of all time?
Yep. He's accomplished more.
Yeah.
He's
Hopefully
a
John
champ.
Go up to heavyweight and beat DC.
Exactly.
Again.
And then I'll shut up and admit it.
Yeah.
And, John can come on our show.
Yeah. Well, right now everybody is focused on the man in the spotlight, Henry Cejudo, as far as the greatest of all time. So
I'm Triple C.
Yeah, the little Power Ranger.
So, do you have John in this fight? You didn't clarify it.
Of course. I think I have John in this fight. But you know what? If it gets me another shot of whiskey and if you bring the bottle, I'll go for Thiago Santos.
All right.
All right, that's official. We shook on it. That is our UFC 239 predictions. Thanks for watching. Please give us feedback. Leave nice comments. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff. We're going to get better and better, and we salute. Take care.